Hello and welcome to Divinely Guided 999. I'm doing a Celtic cross today. So, first, we're going to start off by looking at the present moment. So, let's see what's taking place presently. Okay, so at the present moment, you're focused on having this happiness, having this overall happiness within your life. And there's a need for you to balance your spiritual growth with practical daily life, because this happiness, this overall happiness that you're wanting to have, it is in regards to just your life overall, like everything in it. You want everything to be aligned in the way that it needs to be so that you can be happy overall. The obstacle in the way is that you're not trusting your intuition at times, and you're not embracing the personal growth that is here for you to embrace. That's where that need to embrace both that spiritual growth, which will be your personal growth as well, and practical life, and bringing it together instead of being so much more on one side than the other. There needs to be a balance. So if you feel like you're struggling to have an overall happy life at this time, it could be due to imbalance when it comes to you doing more in one area than the other. Yeah, this is what is keeping you stuck. This is what is keeping you not being able to have this balance. To you, it may seem like something minor because you may be looking at it as in though you're doing what it is that you're supposed to, which could be correct, but you're doing too much of something, and there needs to be a balance. And this will bring about a major shift. There's something right here that's also creating this obstacle. Is you being sad over something. This is something that you felt like was meant to be, something that was for you, that you're sad over, you're sad about. This could due to wanting to have a happy life with someone, and you being sad over this is creating an obstacle for you to actually have that happy life that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be with this person that you thought you were going to have this happy life with, because there's other opportunities out here. Even if it comes down to you taking a moment to pour this love into yourself. The obstacle that you're having right now is that you're not seeing the opportunities that are being presented to you. You're not trusting your intuition when you're being led to do certain things or not to do certain things. And I feel like this being led to has to do with your personal growth. Yeah. So what's above you right now is you still struggling. You're still struggling with this imbalance, with this imbalance with you being encouraged to move your life along, to bring about the balance that is needed for this major shift to happen. It's times where you trust your intuition as far as in you feeling like you're divinely protected in certain situations. But then when your intuition is telling you other things, it's like you you second guess it, you doubt yourself on whether it's true or not. This is keeping you complacent. This is keeping you from actually building this foundation to lead to this happy life that you're wanting. Because it's too much of this in and out, this on and off. Like I said, it's just a whole imbalance. Your emotions sometimes can be in a place of where it gives you like the momentum to get started on things that you feel like you should be doing. But then you may find yourself in a place to where your emotions are not where you would want it to be, to where you start backtracking and you start slacking off and not building towards that foundation that you're wanting, which is a overall happy life in every aspect of it. So many cards fell out, and I take this as in though it's a lot of things that you're needing to be working on. It's a lot of things, yes. It's a lot of things that you're needing to be working on. And it's like what is beneath you at this time is you staying focused. Like I said, this goes back to this balance that you're needing. You needing to trust your vision of what your intuition has been telling you. I've been my tongue trying to tell you and show you. And this goes with what I was saying about there's new opportunities here. So just because something did not go as planned, as in your mind, what you thought it was going to be, does not mean that it isn't another opportunity here for you. See, your obstacle that is holding you back is just feeling like whatever this was, that is all it is, and it's not. There's another opportunity out here for you. But if you find yourself hung up on what didn't work out because you wanted it to work out so much, you will be finding yourself stuck like how you currently are. Because in your mind, currently at this present time, you're thinking about how you want your life to be. But you have these things holding you back, and it's yourself, really, because you're giving the guidance. You're knowing what you're needing to do, but you're letting a situation get in the way when it comes to your emotions. And what you're needing to be putting beneath you are those emotions that is keeping you stuck, that is creating the obstacles for anything else to come in, for a new opportunity to come in for you. It's time for you to be focused and for you to trust the vision that you've been given. And know that there will be a new opportunity that presents itself. And it may be equal to the same amount of emotion that you had for whatever this situation was that you're feeling stuck on right now. this is something that you're trying to leave behind. And I think I said this in the beginning of the reading, where it's times where like you're doing all right, and then it's times to where you find yourself back in that same space again. This is something that you're trying to leave behind, but then you find yourself reflecting on things again, and it puts you right back in them same emotions that you were in before. So you're having a struggle with letting go of something emotionally. What's before you is a relationship. So this reading can be about a relationship that you felt that someone was your divine partner, and that you're sad over due to it not working out for whatever reason. This is someone that you wanted it all with, but your intuition had showed you things or told you things. This may have been a connection that was just meant to push you towards personal growth. And once you actually accept that and walk into that, is when this new love comes in. And this is something that you're not going to have to be looking for. I feel like this is something that's going to come in when you least expect it. So there's a need for you right now to really be working on yourself. And I feel like healing. This is what this is talking about. So that you can set that foundation for what it is that you would like to have when it comes to love. Yeah, this is something that you're needing to do, because how you see yourself, where you feel like you will find yourself in the love department, is not having the type of love that you're wanting, not having a love that prospers, not having a love that is of success. This is how you feel about your love life. And this could be why you find yourself in a very emotional place when it comes to this connection that did not work out. It's because you felt like this was the person that was meant for you. But it does not mean that because for whatever reason this did not work out, that you have bad luck in love, or that you will not find a successful partner. You know, a partner that the love is mutual. It doesn't mean that. But if you keep on holding on to the type of emotions that you're holding on to, and you're not letting go, and you're not growing from it, you're not seeing how you can grow, how you can do some personal development in the things that you may need healing from, then yeah, you may find yourself feeling like you're attracting people that aren't willing to bring in that type of love that you're desiring. It's time for you to reflect on yourself. It's time for you to really work on yourself. Heal parts of you that are attracting certain experiences, or that are allowing you to deal with certain experiences. Because sometimes it's not always you. Sometimes it's something within you that is allowing certain experiences to be okay. And that's something that you have to reflect on. Because you could be someone that has a lot of different options. And I mean, different options to where everyone is not the same, but it's something similar in these options where you may find yourself feeling like you keep on attracting the same type of thing, even though people are different. But it's like it's one thing that's the same. And for you, it's that unrequired feeling that you feel like people give you, like they're not required to put in so much effort when it comes to the connection that you two have. And this is where that healing come in. This is when that personal growth come in. You've been blocking yourself from putting in this work because you've been caught up in your emotions, and it's okay for you to be, sad, and for you to feel. But you also have to come out of that funk and start putting in some work on yourself and dig deep in to who you are to figure out why are you either allowing certain things or why are you attracting certain people. Okay, listen. People can view you as people can now me looking at this card, what I'm getting is like how I said in the beginning of this reading, how there needs to be a balance of like your what did I say? Your spiritual growth and practical daily life. Yes. How there needs to be a balance for that, right? Because how people see you, they don't see you as someone that is like really enlightened on certain things or anything at all. And that's not to be in a disrespectful way, but they don't see you as someone that has intuition, that has this knowing to yourself, as in though like knowing who you are, knowing what you're not going to accept, like having boundaries. People don't view you like this. You may have people that you dealt with in the past that circle back around, and it's only because they feel like they can. So this connection that you wanted to work out was meant to teach you something. It was meant to show you something. And I feel like it was meant to push you in that place to, for one, listen to your intuition, because your intuition has been telling you certain things about this connection before it even fell apart. But because you wanted to work, because you had this idea of how the outcome would be, you didn't pay attention. And not only that, this is a connection that is pushing you towards that spiritual growth and your personal growth that you've been needing so you can dig deeper in yourself. So you know that you're not accepting certain things, you have boundaries. And just know anyone is not going to come to you because they're not going to see you as someone that's not enlightened, someone that may come off as in though you're not sure of who you are, or that it can be games to be played with you. And they can come back around. Yeah, this and they can come back around. This is how people view you. Your fears, which is crazy, right, is because having a your intuition is really like a blessing. It's a gift, right? But it's times where you're afraid to listen to your intuition. You're afraid to trust your intuition. Not because it's telling you something wrong, but because you want an outcome to be a certain way. So you don't pay attention to it. And instead, you be hung up on the hopes of how things could be. Meanwhile, your intuition is showing you otherwise. So you're more like you will be more caught up on looking at things in a positive way, like how it can bring about positive changes within a connection. Whole time your intuition is showing you something different, telling you something different. But yet you still maintain the faith, having high hopes that the outcome will be different. And that is you not even putting your spiritual needs first. This reading goes back, it keeps going back to pretty much you being in alignment with who you are. Because when you have that spiritual growth, you're not going to accept no anything. You're not going to have hopes when it comes to outcomes. When your intuition tell you something or show you something, you're going to listen to it. No matter how hopeful of an outcome you will want something to be. Yeah. You're someone that sees the best in people. Like I said, even when your intuition is telling you and showing you otherwise, you still have high hopes and you still see the best in people. You're a nurturer, you're a lover. And that's why it's hard for you to move on from this, because when you love, like you love hard. But this is something that was meant to teach you about how you should be loving. And first and foremost, how you should be loving on yourself. So the next time that you have this opportunity in love, you won't let it play out the same way that it played out this time. Because you're going to have new opportunities in love. And how it plays out depends on how you show up. And how you show up depends on the work that you have put into yourself. Yeah. And the outcome of this is some of y'all may still be holding on to attachments and holding on to finding the harmony, that happiness that I mentioned in the beginning of the reading. Holding on to finding that, but not within yourself, not with putting in the work, but with finding yourself attached to someone else. Yeah. Finding yourself attached with someone else that will give you that same reciprocation of what you give when it comes to your love and your nurturing. But I feel like this is what I was saying. Like, it would be someone coming back in, coming back in from your past. This would not be you having a new beginning with someone else. This would be like having a new beginning with someone from your past. But it's not really going to be a new beginning. It may feel like a fresh start because this is someone that you haven't seen in a while. This is someone that, like I said, you feel like was your divine counterpart. Someone that you're having a hard time letting go of. And this is getting in the way of you manifesting your desires. Through you becoming focused on yourself. So yeah, you'll find yourself still feeding into old cycles. And that's just going to postpone that inner stability that you're needing. It really is. Because it's going to get right back to you feeling like you don't have that balance nor that harmony. Because all of what you want in is happiness in every area of your life, your personal life, your family, your home. You're not going to feel like that because it's going to be something imbalanced. Because what I just heard is a person can only show up for you in a way that you can show up for yourself. So if you're not showing up for yourself 100%, how can someone show up for you 100% and you're not even putting in the work for yourself? This is where that attachment comes in at. Because this would be a conditional love where the compassion and the emotional, that feeling that you would feel, it would be only conditional. It's not unconditional. But it's like as long as you feel that, you're okay with it. And this is the obstacle that is blocking this transition of you knowing how to adapt to when you are dealing with these connections. And if something does not work, you know how to adapt and move on from it. And you look at it as a lesson, and you're not so heartbroken over it to the fact that you just can't not hold on. You can't let go, and you're holding on because of the attachment issues that you have. Because you're still going to be finding yourself not in alignment. Not on the right path of what you're supposed to be doing. And because of that, you're not going to see the changes that you would want to see in this connection, because you're not doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And all this is about is just giving like codependency. Having a problem with being to yourself. Having the personal freedom so you can know yourself. And because of that, you're going to start feeling like why things aren't moving in a positive way in your life, why you're not having the changes that you would want, or these new beginnings coming in for you. And that is why. See, you thinking about a connection and feeling like if you're with someone, then it brings about these new beginnings. But no, these new beginnings will be brought about by you working on yourself. It has nothing to do with a person. See, you think about wanting the happy family, the life, and the personal, your personal life, and you equate that to being with someone. But it starts with you. Then the person that can have that with you can come along. But if you're not treating this like something major that you really want, and instead of treating it like something minor, and I mean like where you're giving in to the quick fixes, where you're getting back with someone because it hurts to be alone, instead of going through that hurt and becoming a better version of yourself, because that's how your life is going to change and how you're going to be able to align with not only your purpose but your person as well. Yeah, so it's like the divine would not even be moving this connection in the way that you would want it to be moved, because this is not a connection that you're meant to have at this time until you put in that work. So you may feel as in though once this person comes back into your life, or having this person back in your life, it will make you feel excited. It will make you feel, relieved. But you're still going to run across some type of obstacle within this connection, because you're not putting in this personal development. You're not walking the path that you're supposed to be walking to have these new beginnings. Yeah. This is a connection that ended and that you needed to embrace. And that would have brought about positive life changes for you. And this is something that you should just trust in your personal freedom. And what I mean by that is this is something that would have showed you how free you can be to not be attached to anyone, to not have any issues with codependency, to where you're just constantly thinking about someone, in your head about someone, wanting to be with someone, and the whole time you're wasting that time doing nothing when it's work that you need to be doing. Yeah, all these cards are coming out in reverse, and it's all about this personal growth that, like I said, you're supposed to be doing, but you're not. This creativity that you're supposed to be actually, building upon, working on, that you're not. And that creativity is going to bring about that positive life change. But if you're just stuck in a place of being emotionally all over the place because of a connection that didn't work out, you have to move. Like I said before, it's okay to feel those emotions, but eventually you got to get going. You can't just sit in those emotions because time is passing you by and you're still going to want what you want, but then be confused why you ain't got it. And it's because you haven't put the work in. And just because you may have experienced similar situations with connections does not make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a person that is not lovable. It just means it's some things in you that you need to work on so you can attract the type of love that you actually do desire. Because this can be from past trauma that is allowing you to accept the bare minimum. You can be an excellent person, an amazing person, but if you're accepting the bare minimum, then that's what you're going to attract. So it's time for you to put this work in. This is something that you want to avoid, that you're not even trying to do, because you're hurt. And then not only that, you may not even know where to start. So I say start where you get that creative spark from. Anything that you're thinking about creativity wise, start there and take it step by step. Because I feel like this is a person that, whether this has already taken place or it will take place, that you either had no contact with or that you are in no contact with at this time, that you're wanting to have stability with. But you need to ask yourself, why is that? Because the reason why you may want to have stability is because of, again, you thinking that this is your person. And because you think that this is the person that you were supposed to have it all with, it's like you don't want to give that up. So you would be okay with a quick fix of the situation, and you will be okay with accepting this person back. But as long as you don't do what it is that you need to do to have a better experience when it comes to your love life, whether you get back with this person, it ends and you attract someone else, you're going to find yourself repeating the same cycles, because it's something that you're not growing, it's something that you're not learning. So you're wanting to have this harmony and balance within your relationships. You have to wake up to what it is that you need to do in order for you to first have that harmony and balance within yourself. And this is what's on the other side of why this connection didn't work out. Because like I keep saying, it's time for personal growth. And the divine is supporting you with this. So if you feel like it's something hard, something that you may not be able to do on your own, you will have the support of the divine when it comes to this personal growth that you're needing to put in for yourself. Yeah, because this is something that you don't want to come to completion. But as long as you don't want this to come to a completion, you're not going to be aligned to this new chapter in your life. And you're going to feel like you've lost that divine guidance. And you may feel like that because, like I said in the beginning of this reading, how your intuition could have been telling you and showing you things, but you paid no attention to it because of the hopes of what you wanted the outcome to be in this connection. So if you keep on doing something a certain way, the divine most definitely will let you pick your side. And then you will find yourself really looking for that guidance. But because you didn't put it off to the side so many times for so long, that guidance won't even be there for you no more. And I feel like that is a guidance that you're going to really want at a time within this connection when you feel like there's no compassion, when you feel like there's no spark of that creative potential that you once had. And it's because you picked your side. Yeah, and it's because you picked your side. And all you're going to do is find yourself back in that same position of feeling like this is someone that you were supposed to be with and it didn't work. The only difference this time is that you're going to be even more emotionally bent the next time around than you are this time because of having to leave this connection behind. And it could be due to someone just not being faithful within this connection that will cause you to have to leave them behind. And that's going to hurt more this time than it did last.